Welcome to Witchfinder's Gaming Vault on tour. I've been in the USA for about 2 weeks. This is my final day in the US. I'm on the outskirts of Chicago in Brookfield, Illinois, and I'm going to check out the Galloping Ghost Arcade, the largest arcade in the world with over 800 machines. So yeah, I'm going to check this out, have a look around and play a few games. Okay then, so I've just paid my entry fee. It's $25 to play all day. The place open until midnight, although I'm only going to have a couple of hours here myself. So let's take a quick tour around. And first of all, you can see they've got loads of fighting games. This is a fairly rare thing, you don't see this very often. Ninja Kids, 4-player game. We've got Atomic Robo Kids. We've got a interesting looking Arm Champs, never seen that before. So yeah, we've got the row of fighting games. I'm quickly going to just walk around and might talk about a few things as I see them. As you can see, there's absolutely tons of machines here. So here we've got my wife's favourite game, Bank Panic. Strike Force, which I've never even heard of. Some kind of Defender clone. WrestleMania, one of my favourites from when I was a kid. Judge Dredd. These are the sort of Atari System 1 games, so we've got Peter Packrat, Roadrunner, Indiana Jones, Marble Madness, Road Blasters, and then we move on to more Atari games, Xevious, Paperboy, Assault. That's quite a cool game I've played before, although not on an arcade machine I don't think. It's a twin stick tank based game. 720 degrees there, tubing, and some of the more older sort of Atari games, Centipede, Millipede, Warlords. And yeah, I'm going to walk up and down these lines first, and then there's a whole section over here. In fact, I'm going to go here first. I don't know where I'm going. Beavis and Butthead game doesn't seem to be working, unfortunately. Yeah, so wow, Rolling Thunder 2 and Thunder Jaws. I don't know. Tank Force, never heard of it. Yeah, so there's loads of good stuff here. I'm just going to kind of quickly sort of pan around. There's the Star Wars cockpit, which is not working, sad times. Willow, don't think I've seen that in the arcade either, in the arcade machine, at least the original. Blueprint. Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly pan around. This place goes on forever, so I'm just going to kind of wander around quickly. I guess that's the... no, there's actually stuff working in the back here as well. I thought this was going to be where they fixed it. Oh my god, this place goes on forever. It's absolutely huge. There's no way I'm even going to get close to playing many of the games in here, but let's take a quick look around. There's a humongous 6-player X-Men machine. Here we've got some Capcom scrolling fighters, Captain Commando, and also fighting games, Marvel superheroes, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, again, I can't talk about all this stuff. I'm just going to wander around, try and pick out anything that's particularly interesting. Pitfall 2. Enjoyed that when I was a kid. Used to play that when I was on holiday in Newquay. Alcon, aka Slap Fight, in a tiny little machine there. That's quite cool, little cabaret machine. And on we go. It's just absolutely insane the number of machines they've got here. Now, I always thought Fun Spot was the largest arcade in the world, but I think that's disputed because this place has more video games, so it's more of the largest video game arcade in the world. This guy's enjoying himself. It's got a Space Harrier machine there, the hydraulic one, Speed Racer, don't think I've ever heard of that before. So much good stuff here. It's all kind of a bit of a mixed bag. It's not arranged particularly well, it's just kind of all over the place, with fighting games sat next to shooting games and so on and so forth. Aliens, look at that, cool. Burning Force, don't think I've ever seen that in the arcade either. Astron Belt, that's a game I've played before. It's a Laserdisc game, that's quite a cool Laserdisc game as well. Yeah, so I'm going to get in people's way if I carry on down there, so let's quickly, don't want to waste too much time because I want to get playing some of these games, so let's quickly have a look up and down these aisles and then get playing, which I'm not going to be showing much footage of. I'll just, maybe if there's some single joystick games, Space Zap, then I will play them and hold the camera in my other hand, and otherwise this will be pretty much it for the sort of walk around. There's so many games here, and so many games I've never seen in an arcade before. It's quite awesome. Biomechanical toy, very simplistic looking machine. Don't know what that is. Some kind of fighting, run and gun kind of thing maybe. Actually, I think I'm lost in here now. I don't know where I haven't been. So, Fast Freddy, Crash. I owned a Crash machine for a short amount of time years ago, but I sold it on, never got it working. But we are just Planet of Zoom, more Street Fighter, more Capcom games. There's Sidearms, nearly fell over a stool then. I don't think I've been down here yet, so quickly let's go down here. Big Al, dying like a swine. Trojan, Dudon Patchy, so we've got the sort of later bullet hell shooters in here as well. So yeah, whereas Fun Spot is sort of a classic arcade where they don't really have anything up to much later than 1987, I think it is. This place has got everything, from the early games to the later games that, you know, we're in the later era of arcades. I've definitely already been up here, so I can get through this gap here. This place is just a maze of amazing arcade machines. Felios, again, not a machine I've ever seen in the arcades before, not a game. I've seen it on the Mega Drive, but never seen it actually in an arcade. Time Pilot is one I have. So what we've got here, New Zealand Story, Solar Warrior, Strider and Strider 2 all in one machine. Don't know how they're doing that, but fair enough. Final Blow, Stun Runner, that's another cool sit down machine. Monkey Mole Panic, I've seen that before actually. They've got that arcade club in Bury. Piranha, I think that's a Pac-Man clone. Let's give this a go. Let's take a look, let's actually play a game. Yeah, this is kind of a Pac-Man clone. You guide the piranha around, eat the dots. I think it's like a hack of Pac-Man actually. You can see, they're hard to catch. It works in the same sort of way, but there's not much of a maze, it's just kind of an open space with dots in. This is hard. Oh, and they've got me already. Oh, it's annoyingly like playing one of the Extra Life tune all the time. Oh, wow, this is difficult. Oh, it's a bit flaky with the collision protection as well, I would suggest. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, this is hard. It's like Pac-Man, but really hard. Oh no, I'm stuck in some scenery. Oh, yeah, let's get you as well. Okay, yeah. Go on, get that one. Oh no, I missed it. Oh, and I'm stuck in the scenery again. Okay, I'm just going to kill myself off and carry on walking around. There we go. Okay, so that was Piranha. Cruising something. Jurassic Park. Moving Theatre 2-person ride game. Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I was expecting a shooting game, and it's more of a joystick style game. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So yeah, I'm lost completely. I don't know where I haven't been. But here's some guys enjoying some racing games. And yeah, I've been down there already, so I think I've pretty much covered it all, but probably not really. I haven't seen too many of the real classic games, the sort of Pac-Man, Donkey Kong kind of thing, so I suspect I just haven't found that section yet. Golden Axe, The Duel, Bio Freaks, never heard of it. Demolition Derby, I think I've played that before. Jackie Chan? What on earth is that? Look at that. That looks absolutely awful. What is that? Looks like a terrible Mortal Kombat clone. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, so I think I don't know if I've made it back to the entrance yet or not. No, no, I haven't. Here we go. Here are the more classic games. So here we go. We've got Puyan, Bagman, those kind of games. Frenzy, Berserk, The End. There's a whole Stern section there actually. And then on this side, what have we got here? We've got Lead, we've got Juno First, and Krull, and Reactor. There's probably going to be a Qbert around here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Mad Planets, Qbert, and yeah, we've got some Namco games, Mappy, Wacko, Robocop, yeah. Final Fight, not working unfortunately. As always in these arcades, it's a real challenge to keep everything running. Here we go, these massive cabinets that have got the 3 screens, so you've got Ninja Warriors there, that's a Rainier game there, and Warrior Blade, which is a 2-screen one, seems to have Rastan on it, I've never seen that before either. So let's carry on walking around. I'm going to end up bumping into somebody sooner or later. Some shooting games, and what on earth, so much stuff here. Frogger and Ribbit, and lots of Taito classics from the early 80s, Elevator Action, Polaris, Jungle King, Kicks, Zookeeper, and things like that. And yeah, loads of good stuff. I mean, I could just talk forever and not actually play anything, so I'm going to rectify that situation in a minute. There's a load of Neo Geo machines down there. What else have we got? Oh, it still goes on. This is crazy. I was expecting it to be big, but not this big. There's a Bubble Bobble. I'll have to be having a game of that shortly. Flicky. There's a Namco section, Galaxian, Gallagher, Rally X, Burger Time, Pac-Man, all those kind of things, Space Invaders. So this is your sort of classics. It's much cooler in this part of the arcade as well. We've got some aircon running, whereas the bit I was filming earlier was absolutely boiling. So I might stick to this bit because this is more my kind of area. And here we go, we've got Tapper and Timber and Domino Man all featuring the same character. And yeah, some more stuff down there. I think I've already been down there. I think I'm nearly back to the start now. I think I've just got this bit to go through. Got Ghouls and Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins. There's more Capcom games and some Sega games. Altered Beast, Shadow Dancer and the like. Golden Axe, E-SWAT. And what is that? There's an awesome looking thing, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, more. There's a game I really like, Anteater. I'll go over that in a minute. And yeah, I think I've covered everything now. And if I haven't, oh, I'm sorry. If I haven't, then it's close enough. So there we go. That was a very quick tour round, probably with missing a load of bits and pieces of the Galloping Ghost Arcade in Brookfield, Illinois. Biggest arcade in the world in terms of just video games, I think, and there is a pinball section somewhere as well, but I'm not even going to get into that because I just don't have time. So I'm going to play some games now and yeah, maybe show you a few other bits and pieces if I find anything of interest. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. If I don't say anything else about this arcade, then all I can say is it's absolutely massive. So, unexpectedly, the battery on my camcorder has died, even though I've not used it at all while I've been on this holiday. So I'm now using my phone, and well, let's see how this goes. Well, I just found this thing, which is Dark Planet 3D by Stern, which is a kind of an asteroid-style game. You've got the spinner, and you've also got thrust and fire. But the interesting aspect about this is it's in 3D, and I think you really need the 3D glasses to appreciate it properly. But if you look in there, it's got an actual physical sort of arena made of, I don't know, fiberglass or plastic or something like that. And then there's 2 levels of video, there's red and blue. So I'm just going to start it, and hopefully you can see it reasonably well. So I'm the thing on the left there, and you can thrust around and fire. Obviously I can't do this very well, but that's the fire and there's the thrust. So you can see there's 2 levels. So I think if you were wearing the old red and blue 3D glasses, this would look quite cool. It doesn't work particularly well. You can't see much of the blue at all, in fact. But yeah, it's an interesting idea, and I've never seen it before. But yeah, pretty cool. Again, there's probably not many of these out there. This may well be the only one left in the world. But yeah, interesting idea. Sort of cashing in on the 3D craze of the early 80s, no doubt. But yeah, very cool, very interesting. Even if the game itself is just a basic sort of asteroid style game, I think, and I'm not very good at it, as you can probably see, but I am playing it all in one hand, so I think I should be forgiven to some extent. So yeah, that's pretty cool. As I said, that's Dark Planet 3D. So here we have a couple more interesting games, Mach 3 and Us versus Them. These are both Laserdisc based games, but with sprites over the top, so I think you can play these with one hand on the joystick, so I'm going to give this a go. So, how did I put a credit in? Put a credit in. Here we've got some credits. Press trigger to start game. So, here we go, here's some information. Shoot hedgerons. Okay, we're off. So, okay, so, yeah, here we go. Okay, so you basically, it's a laser disc in the background playing the video, and then you've got the sprites over the top. It's pretty simplistic, but you get the idea. I'm not doing that badly considering I'm playing it with one hand. I've never played it before. Oh no, that's bad news. Oh, I'm losing shields. Okay, you don't get lives, you get shields. Oh, go away. It's like weird centipede alien things. What do these do? Oh, that tilts the ship. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that. The buttons on the back of the joystick tilt the ship. Let's continue. Press trigger. Back to round one. Okay.
We're getting interference. Uh-oh, I got a problem.
Oh, okay, yeah, so the buttons on the back of the joystick tilt the ship from left to right, which allow you to avoid certain things. So yeah, basically it's just shoot stuff and clear the level, and then you'll eventually move on to the next one, I guess. So obviously back in the early 80s, the graphics for this would have looked amazing. Now, they look like really shaky video on the Laserdisc section. The sprites are quite nice though. It's a very simplistic game. I think you're probably supposed to shoot those two sort of hexagonal things. I mean, I'm doing okay. I haven't lost a lot of health for a while. Oh, there we go. I managed to complete the first level, it appears.
Some of the sightings are being reported by...
I love the video.
Anything on radar? No, sir, it's
Looks like it was filmed in somebody's bedroom.
Attack, sir. There are UFOs everywhere. I don't know how long I can hold them off.
Okay, we've changed perspective now. Oh dear.
I hope there's nobody down there.
Okay, so the tilting thing's gone now, and I've just got things flying around I've got to shoot. We're now sort of overhead view. So that's quite cool. Again, all the background is, oh dear. Yeah, that's bad news, and that's probably game over. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. That was kind of interesting. That was Us versus Them. Never played that before. Pretty cool. So I definitely missed this when I was walking around earlier. They've got a whole set of Darius games. Again, this is one of those 3-screen games like Ninja Warriors. So that's quite the screen to play on. We've got Darius 2 as well, which is 2 screens by the looks of it, but probably bigger screens than the 3-screen game. Then we've got Darius Gaiden, and then finally Darius Burst X, which was the more recent one with the LCD screens. So yeah, I missed those earlier, so I just thought I'd quickly show those. So here's another thing I walked past the first time around. It's the absolutely huge Star Wars arcade. Now, not the Star Wars Trilogy arcade, which is next to it, but the Star Wars arcade. This was released in the mid-90s. Sega System 1 hardware, I think. It's absolutely huge. I remember playing this on holiday in Tenerife or somewhere like that in the 90s. But it's a 2-player game, ideally, with one player controlling the flight and the other one doing the shooting. As you can see, it's got pilot and gunner seats. You can play it single player as well. And I'm going to put some footage in of me playing it, although it'll be shot very badly with my phone leaning up against this joystick here. But yeah, so you basically, if you're playing single player, you control the shooting and everything with this stick, that controls the crosshairs and shooting, and you can also speed up and slow down the ship by moving this lever here. So yeah, it's a very, very cool machine. Massive rear projection screen, 3D graphics, which are still pretty decent even by modern standards. I mean, it looks pretty cool considering how old it is now, nearly 30 years old. So yeah, and very nice to play that again after all these years.
I'm going in. Hold him up and stay alert. You're running out of space real fast.
Well, here's another game I've never seen before. It's Armadillo Racing, a Namco game from 1996, I think it is. And it's an armadillo racing game that uses a trackball, so I'm going to try and give that a go. I'm sure it'll be terrible, but just from my gameplay aspect, not necessarily the game itself. So we'll do the sprint course, and basically you just have to roll the roller ball. It does allow 2 players. Let's just start the second player. At least I won't be last. So I'm the green armadillo racing against the yellow one, and basically, yeah, you just roll the trackball and try and complete the race. I already had a go at this, and it's absolutely knackering. I was completely worn out. I had to take my hoodie off afterwards because it was so hot. But as you can see, basically, yeah, I guess it's like kind of precursor to like the monkey ball games, perhaps a little bit. It's got like a kind of vibe to it, very colourful, and yeah, just using the trackball to roll and try and get the armadillo through the course. 1 lap to go. Or you can, if you get the power level up, I think you can you end up actually rolling, and then you can probably steer better. But yeah, it's really, really hard, and yeah, I'm struggling to say the least. Oh, there we go, rolling again. Yeah, so you can obviously got to avoid these roots and things. You can't jump or anything like that. You're literally just using the ball. And yeah, and there we go. I completed the race. I don't know, I finished 4th, and I improved on my second lap. So, oh, I need a drink now, I think. So randomly my video camera started working again, so I'm not gonna go back and record all the things that I've already recorded with my phone, but I'm gonna take a look at this game now. Apache 3, never played it before. It looks a bit like Thunderblade. It's got a yoke controller, it's also got a turbo button. I should be able to play this with one hand, just about. So let's put a credit in, and before we start, let's look at the instructions. I'm piloting a heavily armed helicopter through enemy territory. Destroy enemy bases, rescue captured soldiers, complete the mission in each stage in order to proceed to the next stage. That sort of stands to reason. So let's give it a go. Where's the start button? There it is. Good luck. So it's a yoke controller, very similar to Star Wars or something like that. Okay, so I can press the turbo button, and yeah, I go faster. Okay, oh yeah, and I've exploded straight away. I really should play these. Okay.
I'm back.
Okay, so I rescued a guy, hit the turbo button again, try not to crash this time. Oh, power up there, no, I died. I can only imagine when I watch the footage of these games back, it'll be absolutely abysmal, so I apologise for that. But I am on my own at the moment. My wife's having a break. She's a bit tired and she's having to sleep in the car. That was it. That was game over. So let's go again. Let's put another coin in. So yeah, okay, we're off again. So yeah, I'm having to film these with one hand and play them with the other, which is obviously means that the gameplay is terrible, and so is the filming. But there you go. Hopefully you're enjoying the humorous side of it, if nothing else. Yeah. So okay, got to drop a. Yeah, this is just bizarre. You just kind of got to fly for a little bit. You shoot a few things. You try not to get a shot, and then you pick up a hostage or whatever, and it goes on. It's quite a nice 3D effect, you know, pretty well done. It's a Data East game, I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not, but yeah, I'm awful at it. It might be better if I was playing it with, no, and that's game over again, I'm not going to play it anymore. It might be better if I was playing it with both hands instead of filming with it. There you go, that was Apache 3. So following on from Apache 3, we've got Aquajack. Romstar Taito game. Let's have a look at the instructions for this one. Take the controls of the world's most advanced hovercraft, use it to raid the enemy's camp and destroy them. And we've got a yoke controller, or a flight stick I suppose you'd say. It's got a trigger on the front, it's got missile and jump on the back, so I've got to jump, and I've also got a foot pedal, so yeah, this could be interesting, but let's give it a go. Put a couple of credits in. I'll even start any button to start. Okay, let's give it a go. So I've got to drive the hovercraft. Oh my god. Oh dear, it's fair to say the crosshairs is not good on this. Okay, I can jump, I can fire bombs. Oh, I blew some stuff up. But yeah, there's no middle ground really with the crosshairs. It's very much it's at the top or it's at the bottom. So that's going to limit how good I get at this game. Not that I'm going to be any good at it anyway. And there goes another life. And yeah, it's really jerky. Maybe it was like this all along, or maybe it's just a not very well configured thing. And I'm dead again, and that's probably game over, is it? Yeah, let's try. I've got another credit in there, so let's carry on. Yeah, I guess I could jump and fire. Would that help? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I keep crashing into stuff. Yeah, there's too much going on here to be filming and talking and playing all at once. And there goes another life. Is that it? No, I've still got a life left. And that's definitely it now. Okay, that was enough of that, I think. Let's move on to another one. Right, then the next odd looking game I'm going to take a look at is Laser Ghost. It's a Sega game. It's a gun game featuring up to 3 players with these huge guns. And what's unique about this is that it's got kind of a viewfinder to look through, and hopefully once I start the game you'll see what that does. So you've got a couple of options. There's firing the lasers, and also you've got a special weapon. You've got to rescue this kidnapped girl from the monsters, basically. I'm sitting down to play this one because I think you'll get the view through this viewfinder better. So hopefully you can see that it's got like a genuine light laser that's, well, I say genuine, it's not genuine, but it's got a laser effect coming from the unit. When you fire, you can see the laser going towards the screen, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if I'm doing any damage here at all. I don't seem to be hitting anything. I wonder if it's not working properly, but you can see the lasers kind of going, and yeah, I'm just not shooting anything. It's just not working. It worked on the gun in the middle, but now it's not working at all. Let me switch to the gun in the middle. Right, here we go. So hopefully you can see it through the viewfinder thing. You're just kind of shooting and stuff. You've got a special, I don't know how often you get that, but I haven't got much life left. So you probably won't get very far again, but I can continue again, so I'll do that. Well, basically it's an Operation Wolf style shooter, big expanded sort of big sprites, scrolling, typical sort of gun game from the early 90s, I suspect this is from. It changes perspective. I'm now going down the street and there's cars attacking me. Let's just blow those up. I'm going to run out of life in a second, but I will continue. Let's go again. Come on then, let me continue. There we go. It's kind of a cool gimmick, looking through the viewfinder and seeing the red laser firing at the enemies. I've gone back to horizontal scrolling now. It's all gone very slow with not a lot happening. Okay, here we go. This is probably some kind of end of level thing. Just fire that special at it. I've got rid of one of them, I think. Oh yeah, and there's the main bad guy. There you go, I finished the first level. The main bad guy's gone off with the girl, and we go on to level 2, which is going to be more of the same, I suspect. They're pretty one-dimensional, these kind of games. Got lots of life left now. Perhaps got my eye in a little bit. It's got some nice meaty sound effects, and the gun does vibrate when you're shooting as well, which is pretty cool. Oh, missed some health there. I don't really care. I'm not really playing any of these games to make any progress, and I'm just trying games I've never played before, never even seen before in a lot of cases, because I can play simplistic games, you know, the sort of Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Final Fight, Robocop type of games. I can play those at home on a MAME cab or on my own arcade machines. These games are unique, and I'll probably never see them again unless Arcade Club in the UK gets one. So I thought it'd be interesting to look at the more unusual games rather than the more traditional, well-known ones. And anyway, that was Laser Ghost, which I've now lost all my energy on, and it's game over. I've just spotted this interesting oddity here in the Galloping Ghost Arcade. It's a Sega Missile Command cabinet. Now, Missile Command was an Atari game, so I'm not sure what the history behind this one is, but I mean, it looks basically the same. The trackball's very low down compared to the original Atari machine, and the buttons are like normal buttons rather than the sort of cone style buttons that are on the usual Missile Command machine. But yeah, I mean, I assume it was some kind of officially licensed conversion. Interesting. I'm not going to play it because it's just Missile Command. Interestingly, that's not Missile Command, that's a car game of some description, so it's some kind of conversion, but weird that it was converted to Missile Command with Sega branding. Yeah, if anyone knows anything about that, then leave a comment on the video and let me know the history behind this one. Bit of an oddity, but as I say, I'm not going to play it because it's just Missile Command. I'm not very good at it, and I couldn't play it with one hand anyway. Next up, I'm going to take a look at, oh, that was scary, Jurassic Park. Obviously based on the 1993 movie, which was based on the book. And this game was from 1992, strangely. Not sure what's going on there. I guess that was just when it was in development. So it's an on-rail shooter by the looks of it, with crosshairs, controlled with a joystick, which is a bit surprised that. I thought it would have been controlled with a gun. But let's give it a go. Oh, okay, the seat moves. I'm sitting in the seat and the seat moves. I should have shown the cabinet, and maybe I'll show that afterwards. So yeah, it's a joystick, flight stick style control that's controlling the crosshairs. And oh, hello. There's a lot more. Okay, shoot the head. Shoot the head. The T-Rex is chasing after me. It's making a lot of clicking noises behind me. I'm not really sure why. Yeah, I'm just shooting the T-Rex, and that's about it at the moment. Pretty rudimentary 3D graphics on this one. So I think it's more sprites made to look like 3D actually, rather than actual polygons. Maybe there's some polygons involved, I'm not sure. It looks like a typical Sega sprite scaling thing actually, but yeah, maybe a bit of both perhaps, I'm not sure. I think it's a sprite scaler. Okay, so now I'm in a kind of a corridor full of velociraptors jumping at me, and yeah, it's not a great game, I've got to be honest. I don't know if this was ever ported to home consoles. There are some Jurassic Park games, but I'm not sure if this one was. Okay, now I'm out on the plains. Let's shoot these things. That's not very nice, they weren't bad guys in the film. It's got some very un-Jurassic Park music, this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Am I supposed to be shooting them or not? Okay. Well, I'm shooting the backsides of Triceratops now. Okay. And now they're coming after me, unsurprisingly, because I've just upset them. I've got arm ache. It's a very basic game. Probably sold more on the fact it's Jurassic Park than it being a good game. I'm nearly out of health, and frankly I'm not that bothered because yeah, my arm's aching just firing away at this trigger. Here's some okay, oh no, they're after me again, and no, oh, I've managed to fend them all off. Yeah, it's a pretty poor game, and there we go, that's game over. So let's let the clock count down. I'll just show you the cabinet. So it's got the Jurassic Park artwork down the side. Moving theatre, it says. Well, I think this seat's supposed to move. It didn't move much. It kind of clicked a bit, so I suspect the mechanism's not at its best, but it's designed like a Jurassic Park Jeep. It's got some nice artwork, nice control panel. It's a bit green, but yeah, overall quite a poor game. Continuing my wander around the Galloping Ghost, and I found a section that I haven't been into before. It's really hot in this section. It's got a Silent Hill arcade machine, creepy, and a bunch of other games that, well, we didn't see earlier because I didn't walk around this bit, but lots of shooting games, mainly I think Twin Bee, Time Pilot, Tengai, Dragon Spirit. So yeah, definitely a sort of shmup area. Strikers 1945, lots of interesting stuff again. Ikaruga in a cabinet, I have to give that a go. Yeah, so some of the bullet hell stuff here, Death Smiles, Battle Garega, things like that. So yeah, I don't know how I missed this section earlier. Also got a Konami section here with Gyrus Swimmer, which is a game I've played before. Might have a look at that. Again, I don't think maybe I can play this one player. Let's give it a go. It does have a dive button, but if you've not seen Swimmer, let's take a look at it. Well, I'll try to. There we go. The screen doesn't look in great shape, but as you probably guessed, the idea of Swimmer is to swim down a river and collect fruit, because obviously you get fruit in a river, and at times you need to dive under things, which will be tricky for me because I need to press the dive button, and that didn't work very well for me. Oh, it is so hot in this bit of the arcade. I'm not going to be staying in this part for long. and I think I'll wind things up after this gameplay unless I see anything else, because I do want to spend a bit of time actually playing games I like and not talk about them too much. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video then leave a comment. I'll carry on playing Swimmer and then I'll probably wind it up after that. General thoughts about this place: you really need a whole day here. You need to come at sort of 11 AM or whatever time it opens and stay here till midnight to get the best value out of the place. It's open till midnight, as I just said, and there's so many games here. You could spend days here and not play everything properly. So yeah, great place. Really not scratched the surface even on the kind of games that they've got here. But it's been fun to pop in here before I head back to the airport with my wife and fly back to the UK. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm doing alright in this. Oh, I've just crashed into a log. I was really near the end then. I just reached a giant crab, I think. I think the idea of the game, if I remember rightly, is you're supposed to collect all the fruits that you need to get. Oh no, I finished the level, no bonus because I didn't get enough fruits. You're supposed to get the fruits up to the level 4, I think, on each one to get bonus points. So yeah, I'm not having a great game of it. Again, it's been a while since I played it. I'm having to press the dive button with my little finger because I'm using the video camera with my other hand, struggling to get words out now as well. So yeah, it's probably time to wind things up from the Galloping Ghost here in the outskirts of Chicago. But as I said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, let me know any games that you thought looked interesting. There's so many here. Like I said, I've probably missed like 100 games that are really good that I never even encountered when I was walking around the arcade. I will actually, before I wind things up finally, have a look around the other side of this section of the arcade, because as I said, I've not been in here before up until now, I don't think. And there we go, crashed into a log. That's probably game over. It is! Oh, okay. We can. No, I didn't get an extra credit. So there we go. That was Swimmer. Let's carry on the tour. We've got Circus Charlie, Mikey, Phoenix, Munchmobile. What the heck is that? That looks hideous. Loads of shooting games, as I mentioned. What is this? This is another section I've not been into yet. Holy hell. It just goes on and on and on. What are these things? Sega Holosseums. Don't look like they're working, but what on earth? Oh, this one's doing something. Okay, well, we'll carry on. No, I don't think that's working. So yeah, there's some more games there. There's games everywhere, and as I said, you could be here for the rest of your life and not play all these games properly. Radiant Silvergun, sadly not working. Oh, okay, here's the R-Types as well. So yeah, all the shooters in this section for sure. But yeah, let's wind it up there. As I said, if you enjoyed watching the video, leave me a comment, let me know which games looked interesting, and I'll be back with my normal videos fairly soon. So thanks very much for watching, and see you next time from the UK.